Today I went out and got into a hyper focus mode at Ulta. I did end up purchasing a fragrance that I have been adoring, and I've just been buying the travel sprays lately uh, because it does allow for more options and easier to take on trips, and I feel less wasteful, and it's almost more delicate and cute. Um, and then who knows, I might get sick of it, right? So it's also budget friendly. So I am very, very much excited to finally have found this in a travel size. Actually, I had trouble finding this in a travel size. So this was one of the last two at the store I was at today. But the whole point of today's blog like video, oh, the reason why I went to Ulta is because I do have gift cards, and of course I forgot to use the gift cards while I was there. But it's okay. I'm sure I'll find use for them. But the reason I wanted to make this video was to just go over some of the samples that I had sprayed on blotters there. And yes, oh, okay, slight light technical difficulty. Okay, it was to just go over all the ones that I sprayed and didn't hate, because there were some that I sprayed and really, really disliked. So I just didn't even bother bringing them home, because to bring them home, I needed to, kind of keep them all separate, spread them out in my car so all of their scents and oils don't intermingle. But we'll go in random order and I'll re-sniff these, give like a 1 or 2 sentence thought about why I actually ended up taking it home. Some of them I really, really, really loved. Some of them are just okay. Some of them were nice, but none of the ones I really hated are here. And the ones that I really disliked, let me think if I can even recall which ones I super disliked. Okay, if I recall by the end of the video, I'll mention it, but if not, then yeah. And actually, the Ulta I was at, and sorry, I have kind of the sniffles at the moment, but the Ulta I was at actually didn't have a lot of the samples out, so the selection was limited. So just because you don't see something here doesn't mean it ended up on the hate list. And also, I didn't want to seem like a completely crazy lady, so I did somewhat limit myself to how many of these I did, which, yeah. All right, so let's start with a card, any card. Okay, first one is going to be Daisy, Oh So Intense, Eau de Parfum. Okay, and let's give this one another try. Yeah, I'm gonna spread these out just because I don't want them intermingling their smells with each other as much as possible. So the way I did it was I did a couple of sprays on each blotter, and then I left it next to the perfume for at least 5 minutes to really air out before putting them all in my hand and leaving the store, because that would have made a mess, and definitely there would have been intermingling of the blotter scents. And of course, the smell on the paper on the blotter is not going to be the scent on the skin. These are just all perceptions that I am discussing. They're going to be strictly paper perceptions. Nothing, I have not worn or tried these out at all. Okay, so the first one will be, and I'll just move the camera a little bit out of focus so all those aren't in the frame. And the first one is Daisy Oh So Intense, EDP. And this is by Marc Jacobs, designer fragrance. And so, and I won't comment too much about the first impression, the top notes, the smell. I won't mention the notes at all because I don't want to look all of the notes up for all of these. This is just a novice nose impression. So Daisy Oh So Intense by Marc Jacobs. So I would not purchase this based on what I'm smelling on the blotter card at this moment. Let's see. It is not alluring, but it is also not revolting. And it's not boring. So, to be fair to this perfume, it is simply not for me. Okay, moving on. Okay, YSL Black Opium over Red. And obviously all of these are going to be either celebrity or designer fragrances. Ulta, as far as I know, does not carry anything niche. And I don't hate this one. It is not a bad scent. It is not one that I would purchase a full bottle of. I would consider going back to the store and trying this on my skin. I could potentially in the future see myself purchasing a small travel should I develop a liking to it. It's a little bit sweet. The cherry is not medicinal. It is more juicy and natural. And the coffee is a little bit more blunted than in the original Black Opium. So this will be in the to revisit pile. Okay. Next is going to be Oh So Fresh Eau de Toilette. The other one, the other Daisy was the Oh So Intense ED Eau de Perfume. Yeah. And this is the Eau de Toilette. Again, similar comments to the first one. Not for me. I would not be interested in trying this on my skin or revisiting it. Next is A Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, I believe. From my self-education on YouTube, this one is talked about passionately, very favorably about, but also very negatively. So I did want to go out and smell it myself. And I don't hate it. Interesting. I would consider resampling this, maybe in a couple of weeks. I do have the sniffles, so, potentially it could be altering my perception, but my nose isn't blocked. I can still smell regular food and chicken, so it's not, I'm completely anosmic or, have the COVID, no sense of smell. So, yeah, I'll revisit that one. Okay. Next is Daisy Love. Another Marc Jacobs scent. And I don't hate this one. It's not bad. It's gentle and feminine. It's a little bit more sweet and floral than the other two, the Osos. I recall not liking it on first spray in the store, not strongly, not hating it, but being like a little bit turned off by it. But I can see why I took it with me at the end. Yeah, I wouldn't mind revisiting it. Yeah. Doesn't hurt to revisit a perfume, to smell it again at another time and see how the opinion changes, because obviously, our noses are exposed to multiple things throughout the day, and so it could change. Next is, this is Bon Bon. Yeah, my handwriting's fantastic. This is Bon Bon by Victor Rolf. And this one is not for me. That is all. Yes. And yeah, I'm not going to make this an overly exhaustive review. This is just a quick post-shopping trip vlog situation. Yeah. Okay, next. Chloe Eau de Parfum Nomade. I like it. It's a soft, feminine green fragrance, verging on No fresh, crisp, a tiny bit of, it's more green and floral forward, and the linen-y, soapy scent is more mild and restrained, and not abrasive or detergent. I would not go out and buy a bottle at this time. I would not go out and buy a travel size at this time. I will revisit it. Potentially, I will even skin test it. Oh, and to mention, so I bought the travel size of the Devotion because I already went through the whole spraying on blotters routine and spraying on skin routine, and it agreed with me. So next level up into my heart is the travel. And the Nomad, right before I buy the travel, I'll try it on my skin at least once or twice when I go through a store or a department store. Yes, my search before I take a perfume into my life is exhaustive, but that's just a character trait of mine. And maybe that's why I'm still single. Let's see. Yeah, the Nomad. Yeah, I would revisit it on a blotter, and I would consider doing it on a skin spray. Yeah, definitely that is going to be revisited on blotter or on skin. Right, next is going to be the Eau de Toilette version. Very similar to the Eau de Parfum, because all of these have had at least 40 minutes to an hour to dry down. Yes, I will revisit it. And usually when I revisit, I'll revisit on blotters a few times before I agree to have it on my skin. Because skin real estate is limited when you go out and try perfumes. Next is going to be Rose and Roses. And I believe, oh yeah, this is by Dior. I believe it's from their Miss Dior line. And oh yeah, Miss Dior is the one I left at one of the ones I left at Ulta. That is not for me. That scent has something in it that is off-putting. And as I've mentioned many times before, and will continue to reinforce, that at this time I still consider myself to have a very novice nose. I can't necessarily always pick up distinct notes unless it's very forward and dominant, like in Devotion, like the lemon and sugariness. Absolutely, it smelled to me like candied oranges before I even read the notes. I in my mind I visualized like the candied orange peels. That was what came into my mind, and that's candied citrus is one of the notes that's written on the back there. So if it's really obvious, I can perceive it, but some things I can't identify. I can't identify what in Miss Dior is off-putting to me. Maybe along the fragrance journey, I'll be able to pin down what things tend to turn me off and which ones work for me. But yeah, Miss Dior is something in it. But Roses and Rose did not offend me to the point where I did not take it with me. And it's not bad. That it does have just the tiniest fraction of whatever note turned me off from Miss Dior. This is just not for me. I appreciate florals, but it's not a bad floral. It's not a horrific floral. Certainly, if I was on a desert island and this was on my shelf, I would wear it. I wouldn't be revolted by it. If this was one of my only florals, it could be used, in my opinion, as, going out perfume or everyday perfume. But because of the extensive selection of options we do have, and ones that I do own that are much more pleasant florals than this, and still smell elevated and mature like this, without that scent of something that bothers me, I don't think I'll be revisiting this one. At least not on purpose. Like, maybe if I run out of things to try it all, maybe I'll revisit it, but I will not go out on purpose. I will not seek this out on purpose to revisit. Okay, next is no, Burberry Her Eau de Parfum. And I don't dislike it. It's not instantly in love either. It's rather pleasant, I'll say. It's floral and clean. It's not sour or bitter or smoky. It's not overly complex. It would be in the same family as Chanel Eau de Tendre. Doesn't mean it smells like it, but I would say it's in the same family. Yeah, just a little bit of faint soapiness that recedes and comes forward. And yeah, what a girl's clean hair of heads would smell like. Yes, so I will revisit it. I do like the Chance Autant, but my understanding is that the house has some questionable historic allegiances, and I don't know what Burberry's history is, and who knows how relevant it is to their present practices, but I have noticed that since I came across that information, it's been making me less eager to sample their perfumes even, and certainly has changed my mind about purchasing a full bottle. So this may be a good alternative to Autant. It's certainly more present than Autant. Yes, it's more floral. It's a little bit more intense. Definitely there more. Whereas Autant is definitely just like fresh shampooed hair. Of like, I remember of like herbal essences, you just washed your hair and you let it air dry and you are laying down in bed and you can smell how fresh and clean your own hair is, and there's just a little bit of fresh bed sheets, and that's what Eau de Tendre smells like to me. And this is that, but with more potency and more oomph and a little bit more pizzazz, just a little bit more perfumey, a little bit stronger. Okay, well, yes, I will revisit this. I am enjoying this. Okay, I'm gonna take a little nose break, smell some cotton, ground myself. I feel like that could be a term in the fragrance world. You know how they say touch grass to reground yourself and reestablish baseline. You can say go smell cotton or go smell coffee or whatever the practice is. Okay. All right, moving on now. Next, we have Very Good Girl Glam, Caroline Herrera. It's the flanker of the Good Girl. And it's not awful. I don't instantly like it. I don't instantly love it, sorry. I don't dislike it. Again, it would be a pass for me in terms of retrying it. It just doesn't have enough something. I mean, it's potent, it's there. It's not bland. It is not a scent I would wear out or otherwise. It is not a scent that is alluring, capturing. It does not capture me. It might capture others. Again, perfume is personal, but it doesn't capture me. And it falls flat on my nose. So we will probably not be revisiting that. Okay. And next will be YSL Montpellier, the Eau de Parfum. And basically same words that I just used for Good Girl Glam. This one, I remember really enjoying this when I first sprayed it. Interesting. It's not bad. I'm sure I would love it on other people. Maybe it mixes with skin oils well. but it's, fashionista, typical fashionista smell. Again, not capturing my heart or mind. That is all for that. Okay. Next is Daisy Pop, another Marc Jacobs perfume. And I didn't love it when I first sprayed it, but I didn't hate it, so I still took it with me, obviously. And it's very faint. I don't smell much going on there. Yeah, no, they'll go in the probably won't revisit pile. Okay, next is going to be, yeah, they were out of the Billie Eilish too, and this one is actually Charlie D'Amelio, the TikTok girl, her perfume Born Dreamer. And I don't hate it. I don't like it. There's something displeasing in the scent profile. There is a note that is a little bit abrasive to my nose. I can confidently say it's not certainly the alcohol. All of that has dried out by now. But there is like not like rubbing alcohol, not like liquor alcohol. There is something in there. One day, if I ever find out, I'll let you know what these particular things that are making my nose avoid this. Yes, something I don't like in it. Not for me. And if you can guess what things aren't for me based on the ones that I'm rejecting, go at it. But I've tried to identify it, I suppose, by looking up the notes. I haven't had luck. I haven't been able to find exactly what it is in certain perfumes. One thing I noticed is certainly strong patchouli does not agree with me at this time in my life. But that's not to say that I don't enjoy patchouli in fragrances. Some of my favorite fragrances have patchouli in them. So maybe it's not even the patchouli. Maybe it's a combination of patchouli with another ingredient, or the alcohol the perfumer uses. It's unclear to me. Next one, this one I liked right on first spray, and I sprayed it on my wrist. So yeah, when I go out, if I really like something on first spray, one moment, while we repair. Okay, there we go. If I really love something on first spray, then yeah, I'll give it a wrist spray. And it's not really there anymore. Okay, whatever that means. Yeah, it's not really on my wrist anymore, but it's there on the card. And I really liked it at first, and now it's not bad. It's not for me. It's just, again, it's not seducing my nose. It's floral. It's a strong floral. It's not a very sweet floral. Not sugary sweet. Just a little bit. Like a floral's natural sweetness. And nope, that one will not be revisited. Next is another flower bomb. Wait, Good Fortune? That was a Victor and Rolf. Yes, the Good Fortune was a Victor and Rolf. This is Flower Bomb Nectar. And I really enjoyed this on first spray, and I'm enjoying it now. And I will revisit it. And next is Good Girl Blush, Caroline Herrera, another flanker. Oh, I like this one. Yeah, I liked it when I first smelled it, and I still like it now. Yep, definitely will revisit it. Ooh, it reminds me of something. Let me think for a sec. What is it in there that I like? I can't wait until I'm better at this. Don't know, but I will revisit it. Next, this is YSL Black Opium. Again, lots of people have opinions on this, so figured I'd give it a try. And I like it. Something about it is giving me a Delina vibe, or maybe a Delina exclusive vibe, something warm and creamy in there, vanilla-y. It might just be the vanilla, I don't know. One day I will get better, I'm sure. But yeah, I would retry this. I would retry it on skin. I don't think it's awful at all. Next is Daisy Wild, and this one I enjoy. It has a candied greenness to it. The bottle itself and the juice is a little bit green, and yeah, it's pleasant. It's fresh and a little bit sweet and effervescent. It's very brisk. It's brisk, like cold mist in your face, except in your nose. Yes, we are revisiting that. Just a little bit juicy. And last but not least, we have Bright Crystal by Versace. And this is a revisit for me. I've tried it before. I was equivocal about my feelings on it, and so this is the retry. Yeah, it's okay. This one, I'm surprised that I don't smell it as much on here. Well, let me reset the nose a little, maybe. Okay. I don't hate it, but to me, it is in the category of you walk into a department store or you flip through Vogue and there's this generic, pretty sophisticated girl smell. And then it's not a bad smell, it's a beautiful smell, but there is nothing alluring, there is nothing unique, there is nothing seductive, and I don't mean sexually, there's nothing that piques my interest. But it is a good smell. I would imagine this would be an easy wear. So for me, I won't revisit this. That's kind of what I thought when I first tried it on a blotter, and I was like, yeah, it's maybe a little bit, lacks a little bit of courage, if you will. But I think that's what it's supposed to be. My favorite Versace is Versace Dark Crystal. I love that scent, and so certainly this is supposed to be more of a shy scent than that, and it is. And I won't be, I don't think, because of its lack of interest, it's not something I would be purchasing in any size. So, and I don't think it's worth trying on the skin because there are quite a lot of others that I am looking forward to trying on the skin. And those would include, on the skin or reblotting, EDP Nomad, YSL Black Opium over Red, Daisy Wild, Good Girl, YSL Black Opium, Daisy Love. This one I feel like is going to go the way of Bright Crystal. No, it's actually, I like it a little better. Yeah, I like it a little bit better. It's a little sweeter. I'm a sucker for a little bit of sweet. This one's nice too. Yes, Nectar, Nomad, Eau de Parfum, and Good Girl Blush. Yes, and Her. Yes. Okay, hopefully that has been helpful. And before I head out, I will say one thing about Devotion. The commercials for it, I didn't match the scent. I don't know if anyone agrees or not, but to me, just very, the commercials I've seen, at least on YouTube, have been very steamy, sexual, dark, romantic, but make it Italian, vacation, and very outgoing. And this to me is a bold scent, but it's not lusty, mature, spending money on the Amalfi Coast scent. To me, this is going to a farmer's market in Italy kind of scent. It is staying at home kind of scent. It is very sweet and pleasant. And the reason why I say stay at home is I think I would be worried that some people on the outside world might think it's a little too sweet, a little too gourmand, or a little too edible. But I love it. I love it so much. And I understand it's supposed to smell a lot like Lira from Zherzhov's Casamarati collection. And I can see why people say that. And I think they say that because of the lemon. But to me, Lira is a little bit less gourmand. I don't want to say less. It's a little crisper, and this is a little bit warmer and deeper. Not that one is more gourmand than the other. Just the lemon in this, I think, is more baked. It's a more caramelized lemon. In Lira, it's a little bit of a crisper lemon, if that makes sense. They're both gourmand. They're both sweet. So that is all. Hopefully you guys have found that useful, and hopefully, most importantly, future self me will find this useful in identifying what makes me love a scent and what makes me not love a scent. All right. Bye. Take care.